what's up YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Uncovering Drum Sounds using Easy Drummer. I'm using sounds from professional recordings and trying to get something to sound as close as I can to it using Easy Drummer. Not easy to do. And again, a lot of what you hear is subjective to the person who's listening. So I do my best to use my ears to try to pick out high sounds, low sounds, try to match them, get it to sound the same. And that's the whole goal here, is to try to come up with a recording at the end that sounds decent or sounds a lot like the original. Is it exact? No, it won't be exact. And I'm okay with that. I just want it to sound as close as possible. So that's kind of the fun part of it, is playing around with Easy Drummer, really. And while we're doing it, it's a good opportunity for me to teach you any tips and tricks that I might have as well. So it's a win-win. Stick around and enjoy the video. Let us get into YYZ. All right, so I have everything set up as far as the tracks. I just have to start playing around on Easy Drummer. So when I open my Easy Drummer, it automatically opens up to this default Easy Drummer 3 Bright Room. I actually usually have it open up automatically into the Progressive kit, I believe. Let me see, it's for Prog Metal. Yeah, that's the kit I usually have it open to. I'm going to leave it on the standard one because it's a pretty clean sounding kit for now. So I'm going to start with that. Let's listen to Neil Peart's isolated drum track. I should start now. Okay, you have bass drum, snare drum, and hi-hat. So what I'm going to do is start with the bass drum. I'll try and make this episode a little cleaner than the last one. So each time I do this, I'm learning a little bit, and hopefully I get a little bit better each time. So maybe sometimes a lot better, but we'll see. So bass drum first. Let's go back. Just try to listen to just the bass drum. Okay. Not bad. It's not a bad bass drum sound. Let's see. I do like the Gretsch one. There's a 24-inch versus a 22-inch. The 24 is obviously going to give you just a slight deeper tone because it's a bigger bass drum. It's not bad. All right, so I do like the Gretsch USA Custom. I'm going to look around at some other ones too, but I want to keep that one in mind. Low tuned. Nah, it's a little tighter than that. That has like a too loose of a sound to it. No hole. Let's see the Ludwig. It might be too deep. Yeah, it's not tight enough. Let's go to the tight room. Too tight. Now that I hear it in context, I kind of like it. It's almost the same thud. All right, I'm gonna go with that for now. Let's see what happens. All right, there's our bass drum, Premier Resonator. Now the snare. I like the beginning part of the song mainly because it's just the bass, snare, and a closed hi-hat, so it's a lot tighter and it's a lot easier to hear the drums. Because you don't have, like, when you get to the next part with the ride, that ride is really open and ringing, and which makes it kind of harder to hear all the frequencies of the drums. Okay, I can hear that little snap. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I know there's better ones. Alright, where did we end up? We ended up with, well, let's see, for the bass drum it was Bright Room Classic. hear it. Nope, too high. Not bad. It's a Gretsch bell brass. I like it because it's not as not too big sounding, like open. Like this has a lot of like overtones after you hear it. So you hear the initial hit, then you hear some ringing, some hear it. That one is just quick. It's very, there's always going to be some sort of overtones, but as long as what you're trying to match in the recording was a tight, like a snap on a snare. All right, I don't think that one's bad, so let's stick with that one for now. Now the hi-hat. I'm not concerned about like the name brand of the drum because we're going for what we hear. So the other part of it too is when you're, getting the sound, you can select how you want it to be hit. So like you have the articulation. So you have the tight tip, which is definitely not accurate. Tight edge, which is also, I feel like it's a little more than that. You can hear it kind of opens a little, just a tiny bit. So I kind of like the open edge a little bit. Maybe that one, 0. He's a human, so it's a little different every time, and that's fine. We don't have to. All right, so let's see what it sounds like as a by itself with the drums. Okay, that's mine, and then here is Neil's. Nice. All right, let's go back, and I want to try to match it. Not bad, not bad. Now the hard part. That ride doesn't sound too bad, actually, but let's see. You hear it? Rings out a little bit. His rings out a lot, so I want something more than just that. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. Okay, and that's the other tricky part. The grabs. Okay, we're not grabbing the China cymbal here, okay? Let me fix that. All right, let's find it. There it is. Okay. Let's go. Too far. Sloppy mouse. Sloppy. All right. So you just kind of, click and slide, and it will highlight all the drums in that channel, and then press Option on the keyboard, hold Option, and then press up on the arrow key. See that? Nice. And it literally just moves the whole thing up and down. What? Why is that there? Okay, I gotta move that. That, I believe, if you listen carefully, which I heard this earlier. Hi-hat. Right there. There's a little foot hi-hat, a little boop. So I'm gonna bump this down. So let's find that. That's a stick hit though. I need a. All right, I think it's underneath. I think the foot hi-hat pedal is underneath the bass drum on the piano roll. If you're not sure what a piano roll is, it's this on the side here. This is the piano roll. So as I move this down the piano roll, actually not that bad. Let's try that. each note on the piano is assigned a sound. So that's how MIDI works. Nice. All right. And then we have the just trying to make sure it's enough. It's the right amount of hits. That's not bad. So, not for the sake of keeping the video short, but I think we did a pretty good job of the bass, snare, hi-hat, and ride. Okay. All right, so we're good. So now all we need are the toms. We need some tom fills. So let's see if we can find some in the song. I mean, there's plenty. I just have to get to them. Skip ahead. I always loved that bell rhythm he did. It's so amazing. There we go. Oof, I love the sound of those. Mine do not sound like that. Time to fix it. All right, so we got, these are Gretsch Customs. I don't want those. I want, yeah, I was gonna say something a little more dead sounding. Second week in a row I've used that term, dead sounding. You know, less reverb, less open, just more of a pure drum sound. It's rack mount 2. I'm just trying this out because I feel like, all right, and then we got this one. We need to switch. This is where the DWs kind of come in handy. I know he plays DW in real life in 1981. I'm not sure if he did. Again, I'm not versed on all of the Neil Peart history, but all right. So back to this recording. Go back. It's definitely higher. So for the plugins that I actually have, we don't have, I still gotta fix that cymbal. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, we are. Okay. So remember what I showed you before? Finger on option and arrow. What we want is the ride bell. It sounds like the ride bell, just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. And then let's hear it. Not sure I like that bell though. I'm back to the toms again because it just bothers me because you just can't get those tom sounds. I love those tom sounds. It's not even close. It's not even close, man. That one's it's actually not that bad. Let's see. Let's try that one. I'll just follow it through. You got to follow it through with all of them to get the actual sound of it. I still feel like it's too much reverb, but you can take the reverb down. So let's see. All right, it might be a little too low though, too, tone-wise. There isn't really a lot of reverb on it. It's I think what I'm hearing more is the bleed. Yeah. We're good. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect because after hearing all of the toms that we have, you just have to make a decision at that point, unfortunately. I don't really care for that. I don't care for it. All right, let's put it back. Okay, so as far as our drums go, this is what we have. This is the rundown for the YYZ drums. The bass drum is the 14 by 24 inch Premier Resonator from the Easy Drummer 3 Tight Room kit. Okay, the overall kit I used was the Bright Room. That's the overall kit. It actually does make a difference in, I think, when you go into the mixer, it kind of changes the effects loops that are in there. So I just went with this kit as the overall kit. The snare drum I went with was the 6.5 by 14 inch Gretsch Bell Brass from the Easy Drummer 3 Bright Room kit. The toms is where I got kind of annoyed. So I went with the Easy Drummer 2 Modern Yamaha 9000 8x10 for the first rack tom. Again, the toms are not accurate compared to Neil's, and then of course I just went down the line on the same kit. Easy Drummer 2 Modern, went to the rack tom 2, so rack tom 1, 2, rack tom 3, floor tom, and floor tom 2. They actually did have 2 floor toms on that one because that kit has a bigger kit. Some of the kits when you're going through will only have 1 floor tom. So what I would do in that situation is put floor tom 1, and then drop the tuning of the second floor tom so it sounds like 2 different floor toms. Hi-hat I used was the 15-inch Pasty 2002 Sound Edge from the Easy Drummer 3 Bright Room. And then the ride. I used the same thing, Easy Drummer 3 Bright Room 24-inch Pasty 2002 ride. So again, the ride wasn't perfect either, but it's not as bad as the toms are. So I tried putting in, just because I wanted to try it. I'm going to have to try it on a different track or something because it just kept crashing Easy Drummer. But right here at the bottom, there is a drag audio here to replace. So you can actually sound replace your own drums if you want to. You just have to have the audio of that drum, drag it in there, and replace the sound with whatever sound you put in there. So what I tried to do was I tried to take Neil's isolated drums. I took those tom hits because they were isolated drums and they are by themselves. It's just they're a little quick. They're not long enough, I think. And I dragged them in there and it kept crashing Easy Drummer. So I had to kind of abandon that idea. I just wanted to try it just to see if it works. So I'm going to do a video on that if I actually get it to work. So you guys can check that out. I didn't even know that existed until I was doing this. And then I saw it as I was going through all the drums. I'm like, I'm not finding any tom sounds I like. I saw this here, user audio files. I'm like, okay, user audio files. So I clicked on it. It says drag audio here to replace. And then I just realized you can sound replace your own drums, which is interesting. So I wanted to try it, but of course it crashed Logic and it crashed Easy Drummer. So yeah, so not a wonderful feature, but it could be a wonderful feature. Let me know in the comments if anybody actually got that to work, because so far I've tried it with a couple different MP3 files. Maybe I should try a WAV file or an AIFF file or something just to see if it works. So like I said, that's for another video. I just wanted to see if I can. I don't like those tom sounds, but there were no good options out of all those packs I have. I don't have a ton, but I have these came with Easy Drummer 2, these came with Easy Drummer 3, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 basic packs basically. I'd love to try out more tune track packs, but I like to wait till they go on sale whenever there's one I'm interested in. So that's my YYZ Neil Peart drum kit. Let's hear it with my recording. I did not record I started recording the bass, and then I was like, I really want to focus on the drums, so I didn't go crazy. I did the guitar. I was going to use the MIDI bass for now. So just to clarify, for the bell sound in the beginning, I used the Logic Pro sound. I went into their percussion, their Latin percussion, and then on the piano roll it tells you have a triangle. So I went with the triangle and the triangle mute for those two. And then I opened up an automation like this, and I panned them so it goes back and forth from left to right like it does in the recording. Is it perfect? No. But it sounds pretty cool, so let's check it out.